Hello students of class 9, subject biology, unit 5, human anatomy and physiology, lesson 10, nutrition, part 1. First of all, you should know what we learn in human anatomy. In human anatomy, we'll learn the internal parts of the body when the body is dissected. And in physiology, we learn working of the each structure. Is that clear? To begin with, we are starting lesson nutrition. And in nutrition, we are going to learn a few definitions. All living organisms, either small or big or unicellular or multicellular, whatever it may be, they need food. Without food, they cannot live. Without food, it is impossible. It's not possible for the life to exist. And what is there in that food? Which is that essential elements of living, food in the living organisms? All that will be learning. What is meant by nutrition? Nutrition means supply of essential organic and inorganic chemical compounds like proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats, etc. 6 nutrients you will learn from lower classes. Come on, tell me what are they? Good. It is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals and water. Now, food is any substance which we eat or drink and which contains the nutrients. For example, milk, bread, egg, fish, apple, rice, whatever we eat. So whatever we consume is called food. Got it? So sometimes colored foods will be there. In that, color is not useful for us. Color is not useful for us. But still we consume. Like that, in food sometimes there won't be any essential element. But the essential things which are required and they are organic and inorganic chemical compounds, then we call them as nutrients. Got it? All such chemicals present in the food are called nutrients. And supply of this essential organic and inorganic compounds is called nutrition. And then what is then diet? Diet is a combination of food items which we eat in our meals. Then what is a meal? Meal is the food taken at one time to satisfy the appetite. Then what is appetite? Appetite means the desire to eat to satisfy our hunger. Then what is hunger? Hunger is uneasy sensation due to lack of food. See, you have learned so many things. Hunger is, suppose from morning till afternoon you didn't have any food. Then you feel some uneasiness in your sensation in your body. That is hunger. To satisfy that hunger, the desire to eat is called appetite. So if you don't have appetite, you cannot eat. Some people will not have interest only to eat. Anorexia nervosa it is called. Like that, what is the meal? Time to time will take. Morning, we call it as breakfast, lunch, supper. Like that, these are called meals. Got it, children? So any meals which supply all the nutrients and in a combination, we call it as balanced diet. Then what is diet? Diet is a combination of all food, all nutrients. Got it? So many things you have learned now. Nutrition, nutrients, food, diet, balanced diet, meal, appetite and hunger. Shall I repeat once? Okay. Meal is the food taken at one time to satisfy the appetite. Appetite means the desire to eat, while hunger is uneasiness or uneasy sensation due to the lack of food. Now, diet is the combination of food items which we eat in our meal, and balanced diet is one which contains all the principal constituents of food in proper quantity for a particular person. Food is any substance which we eat or drink and which contain the nutrients is called food. Now you understood so many things. Got it? And a balanced diet of a particular person depends on various factors like age of a person, that is child, youngster or the middle-aged person or old person, and sex of the individual, whether male or female, or lifestyle, nature of the work, farmer, sports person, those who does the desk job. Got it? Teachers, desk job, sitting and working in front of the computers, So special needs of a person, sick person, pregnant lady, nourishing mother, feeding mother. So all these are also various categories. They all have different, all will not have same food as a balanced diet. The balanced diet keeps changing depending upon all these factors. And then why do we need food? Why living things need food? All living things require food for various functions to be performed well. What are those functions? Growth. First is for growth. If you remain same as LKG, can you come to 9th standard? There is certainly a factor called growth, and which is that nutrient which is required for the growth? Good, proteins. Got it? All living organisms grow. Food provides body building material to the body for the growth and increase in the weight and height. Food provides energy. Living organisms perform several types of activity and life processes. For the performance of these activities, energy is needed, and this energy comes from food. Without energy, can you do any work? On a fasting day, you cannot do any work. So tired you look. Only one thing is missing is food. But how much change is there on an ordinary day and a fasting day? Isn't it? You look very tired because you need energy for performing any function. Food helps in repair and of the damaged cells, tissues of the body. Food helps in providing necessary materials, vitamins for repair of worn out or injured cells. Got it? The injured cells must be repaired means, got it? We need minerals, vitamins, proteins, carbohydrates, all the nutrients. Got it? Provides raw material. Food provides raw material for the production of various secretions such as hormones, enzymes, proteins. Got it? You know, any bodybuilding material you take, hair, nails, skin, all are made up of various proteins, and all these proteins are produced in our body only. In the lesson cell you have learnt protein synthesis. So for that, which is that which provides raw material, the raw material is provided by the food. Food maintains chemical composition of the cells. For the maintenance of proper chemical composition of the protoplasm in the cells, substances are obtained from food. We have learned protoplasm, each cell has its own composition of protoplasm, isn't it? And the protoplasm is made up of various, yes, we have learned chemical structures like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and various phosphorus, various minerals. All the raw material is provided by the food only. Food protects from diseases and deficiency diseases, and to maintain immunity. Food helps us in keeping body healthy and prevents deficiency diseases. Got it? Now we are moving to the classification of food on the basis of food functions. On the basis of functions, food can be classified into various groups. Got it? Like number 1, energy giving foods, carbohydrates and fats. Body building food, proteins. Protective food, minerals and vitamins. Water and roughage. The diet is incomplete without water and roughage. Tell me now, how many of you people can eat food without drinking water? Is it possible? Can we take the food without drinking water? So food is mainly made into these groups based on their functions. Now first category, energy giving foods. We are going to learn carbohydrates and fats. Sugar, starch, cellulose. Energy giving foods are compounds consisting of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. In these, the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is the same as in water, 2:1. Hence, the general formula of carbohydrate is CnH2O n times. So, number of n stands for number of times. Got it? So, carbohydrates from the main sources of energies. They form main source of energy giving foods. They are oxidized in the cells to release energy. Got it, children? Carbohydrates are main sources. Without carbohydrates, we won't get energy at all. Got it? There always oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen ratio will be 2:1. Got it? Carbohydrates make the principal sources of energy. Got it? Importance of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are chief sources for all living organisms on the earth. Most carbohydrates in our diet come in the form of sugar, glucose, fructose, galactose. Got it, children? So we get sugars from many sources. Anything that tastes sweet is called sugar. Sugars are following 3 types. Monosaccharides are simple sugars. These have general formula C6H12O6. These sugars, when taken, are absorbed in our body and enter blood. Simple sugars are classified into 3 categories depending upon their sources. Glucose is called the grape sugar. Fructose is called the fruit sugar. Galactose is called monosaccharide, which combines with glucose to form lactose or milk sugar. Got it? Sugars are soluble in water and also taste good. Got it, children? Glucose is popularly known as what? Grape sugar. Got it? So when we say blood sugar, it means the glucose level in the blood. Got it, children? 1 mole of glucose releases 686 kilocalories of energy. Got it, children? So the best form of the sugar which is absorbed into our blood is also glucose only. Next is fructose. Fruit sugar it is called popularly, and galactose is called sugar found in milk. We won't call it as milk sugar. Lactose is milk sugar. It is sugar found in milk. Disaccharides are double sugars. Monosaccharides, simple sugars. Disaccharides are double sugars, are like this. They are represented by the formula C12H22O11. These sugars are classified into sucrose, maltose and lactose. Got it? Sucrose, maltose, lactose. And if you take sucrose, the commercial sugar which we get, coffee, tea and all, we'll put no, that one. In our country, which is obtained from sugar cane. In some countries, it is obtained from beetroot. It is called beet sugar. Cane sugar means sugar cane. It's obtained from sugar cane. Beet sugar means it's obtained from beetroot. It is double sugar made up of 2 simple sugars, namely glucose and fructose. Got it? Here are some simple thing I want to tell you. When you take carbohydrates categories, monosaccharides, these are simple sugar. Got it? Ribose, deoxyribose. They are called pentoses. Glucose, fructose and galactose, hexoses. Got it, children? And disaccharides, these are found in 2 monosaccharide units, 2 monosaccharides in different combinations. For example, glucose plus glucose, we call it as maltose. Glucose plus galactose, we call it as lactose. Glucose plus fructose, we call it as sucrose. So common element is glucose. Polysaccharides, if you take, there are many simple sugars joined together. These consist of large number of monosaccharides, simple units. Over 300 to 1000 also they can join. Got it? And each one has different name. For example, starch, got it, a plant sugar, glycogen, animal starch. And also cellulose. You have learned this word cellulose in cell membrane, cell wall. Isn't cell wall is made up of cellulose. You have learned in plant cell, isn't it? Got it, children? So by this what you understand, carbohydrates are made up of various kinds of sugars. Now, maltose, it is made up of two glucose molecules. Lactose is made up of one glucose molecule and galactose, and it is also called as milk sugar. Got it? Now we are moving to starch. Starch is insoluble in water. This is the major difference between sugars and starch. Starch is insoluble in water. Plants are the rich sources of starch. Some common sources of starch are cereals such as rice, wheat, maize, barley, ragi, jowar, etc. The common formula of starch is C6H10O5. Got it? C6H10O5 n times, taken n times. So the basic is C6H10O5. That is, from the simple sugar remove one water, and n times it makes polysaccharide. Got it? Now cellulose. Cellulose, it is a kind of starch found in the cell walls of plants. Got it? And it remains undigested and contributes into roughage for the proper functioning of the gut. Got it? It's a main source of roughage in our food. Glycogen. In animals, the starch gets stored mostly in the liver and also sometimes in muscles, and it is in the form of glycogen. That is nothing but in the form of glycogen. What its importance is, carbohydrates form the cheapest source of energy. 1 gram of carbohydrate, its complete oxidation yields 4.2 kilocalories of energy. In general, carbohydrates account for 60 to 80% of the total food energy contained in our diet. So that is why without carbohydrates we will become very, very tired. Got it, children? Now roughage, a part of food which is not at all called as nutrient but very useful for our body. That is nothing but roughage. Roughage is formed from the fiber content of the plants. It is mainly consists of cellulose, which we are unable to digest. In our body, cellular digesting enzyme is not there. The stem, vegetables, leaves, fruits with their skin, connective tissue in meat and fish and other plant material provide us with roughage part in our food. Roughage is plant material comprising of cellulose, a complex carbohydrate. It has no nutritive value. Nutritive value 0. But it is the indigestible portion of the body which helps in proper functioning of gut. Roughage absorbs water in the intestines, increases the bulk of the diet and helps in the movement of food in intestine and thus prevents constipation. It is therefore essential that we take sufficient amount of roughage or plant fibers and fruits in the diet. Got it? Being fibrous in cellulose, it absorbs a lot of water and retains it, and thus helping the keeping the fecal matter soft and prevents constipation. Prevents a disorder called constipation, children. Got it? The undigested cellulose, being fibrous in nature, acts as roughage. The cells of plants' cell walls are made up of cellulose. When we eat fruit, raw vegetables and other materials, cellulose is not digested in our food canal. This is because we have no cellulose digesting enzyme. The undigested cellulose, being fibrous in nature, acts as roughage. Is that clear? And the movement of the undigested food through the intestine becomes very easier because it adds to the bulk of the fecus matter. And it also stimulates the muscle contraction in the intestinal wall, making the movement of the fecal matter easy, thus preventing constipation. And some of the sources of roughage are Vegetables, fruits, corn, half crushed wheat called as dalia are the main sources of roughage. Cabbage is one vegetable which provides lot of roughage. Did you all understand? Now we are going for the next food item of the energy giving food, that is nothing but fats. Fats, oils and lipids. Oils and fats are compounds which contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, but chemically they are different from carbohydrates. They have very little oxygen in them. All fats are insoluble in water. Fat molecules are composed of one molecule of glycerol and three molecules of fatty acids. Fats are divided in two groups, namely animal fat and vegetable fat. Got it, children? Animal fats are solids. That is why ghee and all are solids, and the animal fats are solids at room temperature. Plants fats are liquids at room temperature. Got it? Fats are very useful for the body. Fats provide energy also. Got it, children? The oxygen content in these are very less. They produce more energy, children. Got it? Than carbohydrates. 1 mole of fat releases 9.45 kilocalories of energy. Whereas you have learned carbohydrates just now 4.2 kilocalories. That means it approximately double, isn't it? Double the energy than the carbohydrates. Common foods rich in fats are butter, ghee, cheese, vegetable oil, beef, fish, liver oils. Got it? Fats are made up of fatty acids. You already learned. Glycerol and fatty acids. Got it, children? Almonds, groundnut, coconut oil, mustard seeds, sesame oil seeds, till, ellu. All these are sources of fats. Got it, children? So, coconut oil, why it is at room temperature liquid? Because it's a plant oil, plant fats. Whereas animal fats, most of them are solids at room temperature, ghee, etc. Now, importance of fat and oil. Fats are rich sources of energy, but they do not produce energy easily. They remain deposited in the body and used when required. The fats are generally solids at 20 degrees C, but those which remain liquid at this temperature are called as oils. Got it? Fats only, oils are fats only. What is the function of fats? There are several functions. Fats are concentrated sources of energy. Fats produce energy in the body like carbohydrates only. Fats stored beneath the skin, excessive fats cause obesity. It is an important storage form of food. Fats insulates the body. It serves as a solvent for fat-soluble vitamins. Fats form protective shock-absorbing cushions around the number of internal delicate body organs such as kidney and ovaries. You have learned in tissues lessons, adipose tissue, isn't it? It contains fat cells which forms the cushions around the eyeball, liver, etc. Kidney. Got it? Fats under the skin protects the body against a rapid loss of heat, insulation. Got it? They serve as a fat solvent. Got it? For the fat soluble vitamins. Otherwise, fat soluble vitamins will not be absorbed. They will go as a waste. Got it? There are two kinds of vitamins, water soluble and fat soluble. Is that clear? Now, important food is proteins. We are going to learn about proteins. Proteins contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Same, no carbohydrates will say. The next one more important element is nitrogen. That is why proteins are called nitrogenous material. Proteins contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Got it? Nitrogen is the most essential element in the proteins. Got it? Some proteins may also contain sulfur and phosphorus. Proteins are formed of smaller units called amino acids. Amino acid units. The amino acids are essential for the human growth and development, but the human body cannot synthesize them. Therefore, these amino acids must be present in our body. They cannot produce them. For this reason only, the amino acids are called essential amino acids. Lack of these amino acids in the diet, especially in that of children, cause retarded and mental and physical growth. Digestion of proteins takes place in small intestine. The amino acids released from these are then absorbed to form specific proteins in the cells of our body. Then they take part in the formation of cells, tissues such as skin, muscles, blood and bone. Got it, children? The smaller units are amino acids. Proteins provide chemical material for the growth, repair of the body cells and tissues, and certain times in the emergency they also get oxidized and release the energy, children. Got it? Did you all understand? Now the importance of protein. Importance of proteins. Proteins are essential components of cytoplasm, cell membrane, enzymes and also hormones. During emergency, they also save by producing energy. Got it? Now we are going for the next essential components, namely vitamins. Vitamins are group of 15 organic compounds. Got it? Chemical substances which are needed in very minute quantity, but still they are very useful, help in maintaining the health of a healthy body. Most vitamins act as catalysts or enzymes in essential chemical changes in the body, but each element, vitamin, also has some special function in our body. Is that clear? Vitamins are classified into two groups. Got it? Before going for the groups, why they are very essential, they are very much essential, we are going to learn. They do not provide any energy like carbohydrates or fats do. Neither do they participate in the formation of body muscles, blood or protoplasm. However, they are required by the body for catalyzing certain chemical reactions and for good health and normal growth. If any one of them is missing, it may cause specific deficiency. Got it, children? That is why they come under the category of protective food. Now you understood why they are very important. Now there are two kinds, namely fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. Vitamins are classified into fat soluble and water soluble. Fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K. Vitamin D is the only vitamin which our skin can synthesize in sunlight. Vitamins are naturally present in foods, children. Only a few are synthesized in our body. That is vitamin D. Now, water soluble vitamins are C and B complex. Vitamin B complex actually consists of several vitamins such as vitamin B1, B6, B12, etc. Got it? B2. That is why it is called complex. Got it? Now we'll move on to minerals. Minerals are also chief building material for our bone and teeth. Got it, children? They are required in our body diet in a small composition, very small quantities, and are inorganic in nature, children. They are inorganic substances. Got it? Then they are required in our body in a small quantity, I told no. Imagine, children, one point. Suppose iron we require in tons. Then our body weight also will increase. We'll start weighing 1000 kgs, 100 kgs like that. Calcium, all heavy minerals, if they accumulate in our body, isn't it? That is why these are very, very less quantity we require minerals. Got it? Small quantities. Table salt contains mainly sodium chloride. Got it? And many other minerals elements are obtained from various foodstuffs. Got it? Such as green vegetables and fruits. Some important mineral elements are calcium and phosphorus, children, for helping in strengthening bones and teeth. Calcium is also required for process of clotting of blood. Very important for clotting of blood, coagulation. Phosphorus is required for various processes, and the energy molecule ATP is produced, isn't it? ATP is produced. What is meant by ATP? You have learnt in your first lesson. Very good. Adenosine triphosphate, the energy molecule during cell respiration. For that also phosphorus is important. But iron has a very important role in the formation of hemoglobin. Its deficiency leads to a disease called anemia. Green leaf vegetables are sources of iron. Got it? Even liver. Iodine is required for proper working of thyroid. Got it? Its deficiency leads to goiter. Potassium and sodium are needed for cell permeability. You have learned semi-permeability, totally freely permeability. You have learned now, children. Got it? Especially in the nerve cells. Got it? Most of the foods are seafoods, and also the table salt contain iodine. Got it? Children, these minerals we need at least 29 elements. In a table we are going to learn in part 2 again. Okay? At least 29 elements are found in our body, very small quantity. About 4% of human body by weight is made up of material. They are also needed for blood formation, clotting, normal functioning of muscles and nerves, thyroid glands, and formation of RBC. Got it? Some minerals are excreted daily. Got it? And therefore we should take every day. Becomes essential, and they must be replenished daily through foodstuffs. And importance of minerals. Mineral elements are needed in very small quantities. They are needed for the formation of bones, teeth, etc. Deficiency of any one of them may cause deficiency disorders. The next nutrient we are learning is water. Water forms nearly 2/3 of our body weight, 60 to 65%. Got it? And water acts as a solvent in the body for thousands of organic and inorganic substances. Water regulates body temperature by sweating and evaporation. It is used to produce digestive juices. It helps in excretion of nitrogenous waste. It helps in the transportation of digested food and oxygen throughout the body. It acts as a medium for transportation of substances for the nutrients. It acts as a, got it, biochemical for most of the biochemical reactions occurring in the body take place in the aqueous medium. That is, they act as a medium. Got it? And also used for excretory material to be soluble. So soluble waste to get dissolved in the water and then thrown out. So these are various functions of the water. Got it? We should take minimum of 8 cups of water every day. We take water as such and also along with many other food items, and drink beverages also, drinks, such as tea, coffee, milk, juice, etc. Body also gets some water as a byproduct of other metabolic reactions taking place in the body. Metabolic activities, isn't it? End product is water, no? Like that also water is available. Got it, children? So with this we are completing the part 1. So second part will be